To encourage young poets. So we have some poets who may or may not have aged out. Saying vintage poets, patent poets, comfortable poets, finely aged poets, like a fine wine.
Seasoned. Why?
Seasoned, like battle. So tonight's first Last Hungry Poet is actually a hungry poet success story, proving with her cushy job teaching English at Penn State that not all poets need to be destitute, even the ones from Appalachia. Her book of poems, Tiny Horses Don't Get a Choice, was published last year, but tonight she's here to give us something new, so let's welcome to the stage Andi Stout.
Thank you, Kara, for that lovely live and introduction. We're still destitute. It's just academia. We just get fancier titles as we move through the ranks. So before I get started, hi, my name is Andi. But I'd like to thank the Freebirds for inviting me, and especially Helene, because without her, she's the one that does all of the promotional stuff, does all of the heavy lifting. And I want to take a few moments to thank her, because without her, you wouldn't know this is happening. So big round of applause for Helene. So tonight is a memorial, and it's about family and community and those of us who are just trying to manage. And earlier this semester, a couple of months ago, my dad died. And I wrote a poem for the service that I'm sharing with you guys tonight, and it's called All That We Can Manage. My grandma Stout, after I read this, said, at least it came from the heart, so I think that means she didn't like it. Hopefully you do. This is called All That We Can Manage. Sitting outside, heavy rain clacks against siding like theater applause after a good show. On the steps of my new apartment he hadn't seen yet, I remember the story that tickles him to tell. I was 3, maybe 4, upset my socks didn't match my shirt. He said, it wouldn't hurt me none. I disagreed, asserting I'd dress myself. And I did. I forgot to zip my pants, misbuttoned my shirt, left tail significantly longer than the right, belly button poking through. Although they were upside down, cotton heel puffing at my ankle, my socks matched my shirt. He laughed, but didn't try to fix me. I'm told my first word was Dad, which I imagine I said out of frustration. In the slightly warmer consultation room where the air conditioner didn't make her nose bleed, we were told the latest attempts weren't working. They asked to see the living will. She had the 1989 version on her. It was all that she could manage. But the directions were the same. 2 doctors' opinions: do not resuscitate. A male nurse asked if we wanted the chaplain. I said no without hesitation, but Mom decided the Stouts might need him. When we were alone, my mother dropped her head in her hands and said she was tired of being tested. But this isn't a test. There is no test. The universe is indifferent. It doesn't care if we're good or bad, perfect or flawed, put together or a mess. My father lying in a hospital bed covered in tubes and wires, blood pressure dropping did not mean that we disappointed some fictitious divine. This is not punishment for something that we did or didn't do. Like the to be verb that weakens any topic sentence. It just is. Maybe not all take comfort in Sartrean philosophy, but it is all that I can manage. When anxiety or Point Mountain made me nauseous, my father let me puke in his pocket, because I worried about making a mess. If I could just be mad, I wouldn't throw up or pass out. If I stayed angry, I could still function. I still had control. He was upset we hired movers instead of asking him to carry heavy cherry furniture up switchback stairs, but we reached a compromise. He'd help us hang curtains on Saturday, and we'd have late lunch at the Governor's Pub across the street. He didn't know it, but lunch was going to be my treat. Maybe Mom and I would have split a dessert. maybe cheesecake or some kind of pie. I'm sure he would have argued with me over paying the bill, but I would have said, I want to do it. Let me. He would have withdrawn his hand from the little faux leather book, said thank you, and told me again how proud he was that I'd gotten that Penn State position. In the living room at our new apartment, curtain rods still in their boxes, on the desk my mother refinished. Bill and I decided to take his smallest drill with the least number of attachments, best for hanging curtains after the service. Maybe the curtains won't hang as high as they should. Maybe the left plant panel, like my misbuttoned shirt, will end up hanging significantly lower than the right, but we will manage. For now, I resolve to wear my PJs on the car ride and dress just before calling hours, because it's all that I can manage. Thank you.